All right. Good morning, everyone. Okay, I just want to take those downs. Whew. How we doing? All right. So I'm gonna share with you guys. I have recently changed my hours at work, and so I'm actually at work today. I work on Sundays, but I still gotta keep up with Profound Sunday. So listen, I'm making it work. So I'm not gonna hold you. I'm not gonna be on here for long. It's not gonna be drawn out. I like working on Sundays. For some people, that's not a thing for them, but me, I do. It's the best way for me to start my work week and things like that. So for those that are new to Profound Sunday, welcome. If you've been here before, welcome back. Also, my ones that catch my replays, I do appreciate you. I do see them and things like that. I know for everybody, 11:11 time of day is not the best, but I like that time. And for those who know, you already know why. So I'm not going to hold y'all. Today's Profound Sunday, I titled it The Graduate. But nope, I'm sorry. Spiritual graduation. Spiritual graduation. This is for those of us that, right now, the time of year. I just had my daughter. She graduated on Friday. And in life, we go through, you might as well say life is a teacher. That is my, me, experience is a teacher. Is a teacher. But this is a time of year where we're seeing graduations all, everywhere. The cap, the gown, the diplomas, celebrations, families coming together. All of these things are happening. And while watching the graduates, I actually found myself understanding a deeper meaning behind that. And that's what I wanted to share with you today. Many people think graduation is like the end of learning, right? Especially for, the high schooler. I'm done with that, but then there's college. The person in college, they graduated, but then there's the masters. And the truth is that life teaches us that graduation is actually proof that we never stop learning. We never stop learning. We continue to learn. We don't stop. There's always another lesson around the corner. And that's what I want to talk to you. Because truth is, every last one of us is enrolled into a school that we never signed up for. We never applied to this school. We did not say, hey, let me get the toughest lesson. Let me get the, this, that, and the third. No. And that is the school of life. Or some people say the school of hard knocks. You got some people who are enrolled into the school of hard knocks. I don't know if this is true or not. But welcome to Profound Sunday. That's what we're talking about today. That spiritual graduation. How do we get to that point? It's not what you think. And whether you realize it or not, we're all working towards our next graduation. Because even though, and it started in kindergarten. They had the kindergarten graduation. Well, guess what? First grade came right on up behind it. Then, let's say you had 8th grade graduation. Guess what happened next? 9th grade. Then when you got high school graduation, what's next? College. College, what's next? And for some people, hey, the story is some people become career students is what I've heard. Not me, though. Not me. I can't do it. But there's a different type of school that we're all enrolled into. And that's what I want to talk about today. It's that school of life. The life that keeps life in, teaching us and things like that. And life has lessons. Life has teachers. Life has assignments. Life has tests. And whether or not we realize it or not, we're all working towards that next graduation. One thing I learned about is that our greatest teachers don't really look like teachers. They don't. Our greatest teachers could be our parents. Our greatest teacher could be a mentor. Our greatest teachers could be heartbreak. It could be life lessons. It could be, disappointments, which is a lot like school and education. Sometimes it could be difficult people who challenge every ounce of patience that we have. They get on our very, very last nerve. And just like students are praying that they pass the test, we're praying for God to get them out of our life. But what if that person who gets on your very, very last nerve is the test? But we're spending too much time trying to avoid the test instead of passing it. That's what we're going to talk about today. We're asking God, please remove this person from our lives so that we can forget that we forget to ask, what did they come to teach us? If you think about it in the Bible, Joseph, his brothers, they betrayed him. They, took away his garments and things like that. But that betrayal became part of his preparation. The lesson was not the pain. And so many of us fail that, we think, oh, you know what, I was learned, or I would deserve, or whatever stories that we tell ourselves, and we need to really let go of. The lesson was that is what he became because of it. So many times we're given lessons, but we're so focused on the wrong things, meaning the pain, the problems, the other person, that we don't get to see the blessing in it. The healed version of ourselves understands that every experience contains wisdom if we're willing to learn from it. Every situation contains wisdom. Once the lesson arrives, the test usually follows. That's how school works. You go, the teacher talks about it, you do exercises on it, now you've got to pass the test. You don't study all semester just to avoid the exam. We already know. But then in life, we're like, okay, well, God, I want to be prepared for this particular thing, but don't give me no test on it. Don't make me practice on it. Don't give me nothing that's going to sharpen my iron. Let me just pass, easy credits. We want the curves. We want the this, that, and the other. The exam reveals what you've learned. Life works the exact same way. We pray for greater purpose. We pray for stronger relationships. We pray for blessings. Then life produces a test. And then that test could be a difficult conversation, an unexpected setback, a season of waiting. You're like, God, where do you even hear me anymore? Suddenly we become frustrated because guess what? We think we're being punished. And that's never the case. Like, that's not a punishment when you get a test. That's not the punishment. The test is usually there to be like, okay, well, what did you learn? Okay, you say you wanted this, but are you really prepared for it? What if we're simply being examined? They say the teacher is most quiet during the test. The teachers, I've heard that as well. God is giving you a test, but that's when he becomes quiet, okay? He don't be like, here come the answers, because you be like, God, tell me what to do. God is like, what you gonna do? And sometimes the ball is in our court. David faced lions before Goliath. The crown did not come before the test. The test prepared him for the crown. Good morning, Mr. Harvani. So good to see you. What's interesting is that many of us are finding ourselves in the same classroom. Different year, different relationship, different job. Same lesson. Like, didn't I see this before? Well, I tried to change up the characters, but guess what? It's the exact same thing over and over again. The same arguments, the same fears, the same unhealthy patterns, and this is what we have to become aware of. The Israelites wandered in the wilderness, not because God abandoned them, but because there were lessons that they failed to master. Something that should have taken a day and a half took them 40 years to get out of the wilderness. That's a repeated lesson that is failing to be learned. And that's where some of us are. We want that graduation. We want the celebration. We want the yah, rah, rah. But guess what? We're stuck. Not learning the lesson. Not getting it. Not doing different. Many of us are asking God for a new season while we're still carrying our old behaviors. Asking for a new season while carrying your old behaviors. Some would say that's insanity. Doing the same thing, expecting different results. Your conscious mind says, I want change. This ain't working. I need to do something different. But then our conscious mind says, you know what? This feels familiar. This is what I know. This is how I've been doing it. Well, let's ask yourself, if you've been doing it that particular way, what are the results saying for you? If you're getting the same result, it's time to do something different. That's where the real work begins. The healed version of yourself learns to bring those hidden things and hidden patterns to life. Like, you've got to bring it to the light. We won't change on the surface, but then deep down, it's the same old mindset. It's the same old pattern. It's the same old behavior. It's the same old who we are, who we have always been. Because healing isn't changing what you do. That's not what healing is. Healing is when you change who you are, who you become, how you think, how you react, how you respond. It's changing what drives what you do. It's changing the motivation, the actions. Sometimes the most important classes aren't taught through success at all. Some of our biggest lessons don't come because we got success. Sometimes it's through the waiting. It's through the grief. It's through the rejection. It's through the silence. It's through the hard parts where success is able to emerge. Many of us want the thing, but we can't get there. There's a blockage because there's a test along the way, but we're just avoiding it. We're avoiding the difficult conversations. We're avoiding the necessary healing that we have to do on ourselves in order for change to emerge. The graduation, the spiritual graduation. So those are the advanced courses in life, and nobody signs up for them willingly. Like, we don't say, Lord, give me some tough lessons so I can be stronger. We want the perfect body, but we don't want to go to the gym. We want the financial things, but we don't want to do the work that it takes to get there. And so some of our greatest spiritual growth happens in the grief, in the silence, in the hard, difficult conversations and things like that. Because when everything becomes quiet, we can finally hear what our souls have been trying to tell us. Good morning, Miss Ruby. So good to see you. And eventually, if we stay committed to learning and growing, healing and trusting God, we graduate. That's how you get to the graduation. Get my phone out the sun. Hi, for everyone who is watching, I had to change my schedule, so now I work on Sundays, and so I'm still going to make it to my point to be here and show up. So eventually we stay committed. Through learning, growing, through God, we graduate, but not once. See, graduation doesn't happen for anybody one time. If you're a kindergartner, you graduate to first grade. If you're a middle schooler, you graduate to high school. If you're a high schooler, you graduate to college, so on and so forth. We graduate, though, spiritually over and over again. We graduate from fear to faith. We graduate from people-pleasing to boundaries. From survival mode to purposeful living. You know, having that purpose in our living. From reacting emotionally to responding with wisdom. These are the things that cause us to graduate in life. But it's not that they come without struggle. Not that they come without trials. Not that they come without, just like a student has an exam. They have a teacher. They have things that have to go on and progress to get to there. So do we. And just when we think we've arrived, that's when another classroom opens. And always our current situation is preparing us for where we're going. So even though we may not see, nothing but the pain and the current struggle that we have, it's usually the preparation that we need for the next level to where God wants us to be. Some of us are at a kindergarten level, but we want graduate school blessings. And there's a process. And so this is when another opportunity for growth appears, because life isn't trying to defeat us. Life is not trying to defeat us. Like, this is not a beat down. God is not exacting a beat down. Every lesson is preparing us. Every teacher is shaping us. And again, our teachers may not look like, the person with the glasses sitting at the front of the classroom. That teacher could just be that heartbreak. That teacher could be that relationship that failed, that job that ended, that, whatever, that hiccup in the road, that detour. That could be exactly what you needed in order to prepare you for what you need And every test is revealing us. When we have a test and we take a test, it tells us who we really are, not who we think we are or who we want to be. It tells us exactly who we are and areas that we might need to work on as well. So every graduation is simply proof that we're ready for what's next. So many of us, again, if you're asking God for something, you're praying for something, check out where the tests come in. So here are your key takeaways. So I got 5 key takeaways. First one, every person and experience can teach us something if we are teachable. Every person, every experience can teach us if we are teachable. Many of us withdraw the negatives from the situation, and then we close ourselves off, and then we don't want to hear it anymore. We don't want to be open. When at the same time, if we use that to be like, well, what is this here to teach me? What can I learn about myself and I can grow from in this situation, as opposed to just taking, oh, it was painful. It was, it was this, that, and the other. There's certain things. Difficult coworker may be teaching you patience. A failed relationship may be teaching you boundaries. A financial setback could be teaching you discipline. So there's certain things that we have to be teachable through in order for us to get to that next level. That's the first thing. Second thing, tests are often confirmation that we're growing, not evidence that we're failing. Just because you had a test. Because a lot of times, as soon as you say, oh, you know what, I'm going to start doing things this way. Here come a test to see if you really are committed to that thing that you said that you are. A lot of times, those are not indications that you're failing, even if you didn't pass the test. It gives you an opportunity to look at, okay, well, what can I do different in the future? Let me reevaluate my approach. Okay, I didn't get it that time, but I can get it next time. So it's not an indication that you're failing, because some of us take that and we're like, okay, well, there's so much shame. I didn't do it right. I just didn't get it right. But that's not an indication that you're failing. It's just an indication that, hey, I'm growing. I'm growing. The next one, repeated struggles usually reveal lessons we haven't fully learned. So when you start noticing the patterns, the things that keep coming up, they keep coming up, they keep coming up, this is where, hey, this is where I've got to, like, you may be attracting unavailable partners, repeated overspending, finding yourself in conflict with different peoples over similar issues. Life tends to repeat the curriculum until mastery is achieved. You will get the same issue until you've mastered it. And sometimes that mastery could be how you respond. That mastery could be doing different, being different. So the tool is to look for the patterns rather than the incidences. Ask, what keeps showing up in my life? And the answer often reveals the lesson that you've been assigned or the lesson that maybe you're avoiding. Because sometimes, we try to avoid it. We're like, okay, well, let me run from this situation. But then you're also running from the opportunity to learn and grow. The fourth one, healing requires addressing both your conscious choices and your subconscious patterns. There's always two things at play. Our subconscious is running continually. And that is actually the if I was to use the word stronger, force behind the things that we do. So we have to be able to address our conscious choices, the things that we know why we're choosing it, versus the things that we do and we don't really know why. Maybe they could be on autopilot. Maybe they could be, just something that we do out of habit. But you've got to look at, let's say consciously you want a healthy relationship, but subconsciously you keep attracting the wrong type of person. Or subconsciously you may fear being vulnerable because of past pain. You've got to resolve those subconscious things. You might want to be rich, but then you've got some beliefs in the back of your head that you can't. You've got to heal that so that your subconscious can align with what you consciously want. So pay attention to your automatic reactions. Notice what triggers fear, anger, avoidance, or self-sabotage. Because oftentimes that is the indication of how we really feel if we want to align that to what we are going towards. And then the last one, graduation is not arrival, it's preparation. Graduation is not arrival, it's preparation. So graduating high school prepares you for college. Graduating college prepares you for a career. Likewise, graduating from life lessons prepares you for greater responsibility, purpose, and influence. Many people think success means that they have arrived. You know, that old cliche, I have arrived. But have you really? Many people, growth teaches us that every level brings new opportunities to learn. So celebrate progress without becoming complacent. One of the things you could do at the end of each week, ask yourself, what did I learn this week that I didn't know last week? That question can keep you humble, teachable, and growing. Because that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, life is not asking you whether you've avoided challenges. You know, have you tried to cheat on the test? Have you tried to ask other people for the answers? Because that's what we do. We like, hey, what should I do, person? Or, you know, even asking God, what should I do? When God puts everything in us that we need. Did the disappointment make you wiser? Did the setback make you stronger? Did the test deepen your faith? Did the lesson help you to heal? The goal is not perfection. The goal is growth. Because every lesson learned, every wound that is healed, and every test that is passed moves you one step closer to becoming the person who God created you to be. And not just the person that you are today. Because it's never where you are, it's where you're going that you have to, you know, hone in on. So if your current season is a classroom, what lesson is life trying to make sure you don't graduate without learning? Like, do that. All right, and then we've got our affirmations. Let me pull up my affirmations. I have one affirmation for this entire Profound Sunday for today. And that affirmation is, I am a lifelong student of growth. I'm a lifelong student of growth. I embrace every lesson, learn from every test, heal from every pattern, and trust that every season is preparing me for greater wisdom, purpose, and peace. Let me say that again. I am a lifelong learner, student of growth. I embrace every lesson, learn from every test, heal from every pattern, and trust that each season is preparing me for greater wisdom, purpose, and peace. So everyone, that is my Profound Sunday for today. I'm so glad that you were here, that you're watching the replays, that you're, you know, tuning in, because even though now I am working on Sundays, I'm at work right now, I'm gonna still lock in and make sure that I am here. So share this with somebody who will be able to benefit with the information. Drop your comments below. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have a blessed week as we roll into a new month, halfway through the year, believe it or not. Wow. Okay, 2026 showing up in all ways. But you guys take care of yourself, take care of each other, and love you. Bye.